Right, drawing the cellular geometry for this this hexagonal pyramid. All right, we need to first of all draw out the hexagon part of it, and you can see that it has been drawn at a 30-degree angle. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to draw a nice construction line going at 30 degrees like that, and I'm going to measure off the length of the side, which says 24. So get my pair of compasses set to 24, go into that point over there, draw in a nice radius of 24. I can now take the pair of compasses over here, mark it off over there, mark it off over there, and that should be enough for me to complete this this hexagon. Okay, so just draw a little construction line there, parallel to those two edges, and from there I can now draw in the sides of that hexagon, line going over there, line going down over here. Okay. Line coming straight down over here. I can actually use my set square. You can see the set square and the, what's his name, coming together. 30 degrees there. And I can then draw in the 30 degree over there and a 30 degree over there. Right, that's easy. Right, once I've got that in place, I now need to draw in the front view of this thing, starting with a XY axis over here. Use your 0.3 pencil over there, label it X and Y, okay? Use your 0.3 for that, it will just increase the accuracy that you can have on your drawing. I'm going to draw in some construction lines coming up over here, from there, and from there. And then generally there's about a 10mm gap between the XY and the pyramid base over there. So draw that base in over there. Right, it says that I need to measure up 60mm. Just going to increase the length of this over here, going out, and then measure off that 60mm as fast as I can. There we go, 60mm coming up from that base over there, and I can now draw in a line going from that point from there to there, and from this point from there to there. Once we've got that, I'm going to draw a line coming across over there, all right? And I can then draw in these lines as well on this auxiliary view. Okay, so there we go, there we go. Line coming straight down over here. And a line, once I've got all of that in place, they say that I have a, what's his name, going at 32mm over there. So I measure off 32mm over there. Measure that off on that center line over there and draw that out to get that height of 32 over there. Right, once I've got that, I can then take my 0.3 pencil again, and I'm going to draw in that cutting plane over there. Take your 0.5 pencil, thicken in that, and label it as A and A. Right, once I've got that, I then come into doing the numbering of this thing. I'm going to say, all right, I've got number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Transfer those numbers up onto this, so I've got number 6 and number 5. I've got number 4 and number 1. I've got number 3 and number 2 over there, and I always like to label the apex with a 0, and I've already got that 0 over there. Drawn in by the actual worksheet. Right, once I've got that in place, I then say, all right, my cutting plane is cutting through exactly at the 6 and 5. So I've got a cut going through there, and I'm going to label that as number A and number B over there. Down at the bottom, number A, and B, where that cutting plane cuts through there. I then look over here and I say, all right, I've got a cutting plane cutting through how many lines over here? Number 4, 0, and number 1, 0. So I'm going to say C and D. I'm going to need to find out where those 2 points are on here. And then I say, all right, I've got 2 lines going over there, and we're going to call that E and F. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to find those points on these lines over here. So I take a line coming back from point E and F, and I say, all right, I'm going to have point number E on 3, 0, and F on 2, 0. There's point E and F. I know that I've got A and B over there. How am I going to find the points on the line over here, the C and D? How do I do that? Can you remember? Yes, no? Right, so okay, to do that, you're going to take a line coming back from C and D, coming across to this line over here. I take that down, okay, cuts over there, and once I've got that point over there, I can then arc that around, taking my pair of compasses from there, wind that back over there, and arc that round. That would be the one point over there. Arcing it round, that would be the other point on the other side over there. So I can now label this number C and number D. All right, so line coming across, line coming down to a line, and then you arc and arc, and that'll get you the point that you need. Right, once you've got those in place, I can, if I wanted to, I could draw in the cutting plane onto the auxiliary view. It's not necessary, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of just showing you that that cutting plane can actually be shown on the auxiliary view, and it's sometimes easy to then see what else it is that you need to do on this thing. Right, so there we go. There is a auxiliary view, and I'm just going to note I did it in color just to show you what it would look like. I'm going to hatch it quickly, and there we go. That would be the cutting plane of this thing on the actual auxiliary view. Right, we do not need to do that, but they do ask you to do a sectional top view. So let's take the cutting plane down into my view over here. I take lines coming down from all of the letters. Note I'm using letters and numbers over here. So I've got A, B, C, D, E, F over there. I need to draw in an XY axis over here. Take my 0.3 pencil, draw in a nice XY axis going across there. Label it X1, Y1. I'm now going to take measurements from D to the XY axis. Find D over there. Come down to the new XY axis. Label it D. Go to C on the other side. Find C. Come down. Place it down. C. Go to A. There's A to the XY axis. Find A. Come down. Place it there. Label it A. Go to B. To the XY axis. Find B. Go down. Label it. There's B. Go to F. Find F. Come down. Place it down. F. E. Find E. Go down. Place it in there. E. Right, once I've got that, I can then draw in A to B, B to C, C to E, E to F, F to D over there, and B to D. Once I've got that in place, I can then do the hatching on that. Take your 0.3 pencil, hatch away as fast as you can. There we go, hatching done. Once I've got that hatching in place, I now look and I say, all right, if I've got a little bird looking down, I've cut away the top part of this thing. What is going to be left? I've obviously got still 6 and 5, 4 and 1, 3 and 2 that are still going to be in the view, so I need to draw those in. Let's have a look at 6 and 5. We know that 6 and 5 are on exactly the same points as the A and B. So 5 is next to A over there. 6 is next to B over there. Right, come across over here, 4 and 1. Let's draw a little construction line coming down from 4 and 1. And I'm now going to take the measurement from 1 There's 1, taking down to the XY axis and label it. Number 1. Go to 4. Go to the XY axis, find 4, go down to the XY axis, label it. 4. Note, 4 is furthest from the XY axis, 4 is furthest from the XY axis. If you've got that in place, that's easy enough. Go to 3 and 2. 3 and 2. 2 is closest to the XY axis over here. Find 2, come down over here. 2 is going to be closest to the XY axis. There's 2. 3 is further away from the XY axis. Find 3, go down to there, and label that as 3. Right. If you're looking from the top over here, obviously, number 3 and 2 would be in hidden detail. It's down at the bottom over there. So do that as hidden detail. Okay. I've got a line that is going to go from 2 to 1. That would also be in hidden detail. I've got a line that is going to go from 3 to 4. That would also be in hidden detail. I'm going to have a line that goes from 5 to 4 over here. I'm going to have a line that goes from 6 to 1. Those would be dark lines that I'd be able to see. I'm obviously going to have a line that is going to go from number 1 going up to where D is. You can see 1 to D. I can definitely see that. Line going from 1 to D. I'm going to have a line that goes from 4 to C. Same idea. All right. And then I've also got lines that are going to go from 3 to E. Okay. But looking at that from the top, 3 to E is going to be in hidden detail. And from 2 to F, same story, that's going to be in hidden detail. Right, there's the top view done. Right, the next view, they say a left view of this. Where's my left view going to go? Where's the left view?
On the right.
It's going to be on the right. So I take my little man. There's my little man. He's looking across from the left-hand side. Is he going to be able to see that hexagonal base? Can you see this hexagonal base?
No, it's cut away.
No. Did they ask you to do a sectional left view? Read the question. It says, draw a left view. They said nothing about sectioning it. So you need to make sure that you read that question and give me what I want. Just the left view, which means that I'm definitely going to be able to see that base. So let's take that base across. Okay. Taking lines from these points over here, 1 and 4, 6 and 5, and don't forget to take point 0 across as well. You need to draw in an XY axis over here, a line coming down over there, label it X2, Y2, and I can now take these measurements. Note, taking measurements from this view over here, or I could take them from this view over here. It would make no difference at all. I generally try and take from, if I'm going to use the divider method, I'm going to take these measurements from this point over here because this is a more accurate drawing. So there's number 1, go to number 1, take it across, place it down, label it. Number 1. Go to number 4. Furthest away from the XY axis, go to number 4, place it down over there. There's number 4. Number 2. Okay, number 2 and number 6 are going to be in the same line. So I go over here, there's number 2, place it down. This is a time saver thing if you're wanting to learn how to do things faster. Number 6, same distance, so taking that across, making a little mark over there. Number 6, now that was a waste of time using a pair of dividers. I'm going to show you with number 3 and number 5. There's number 3 over there. I come over here, find number 3, going over here, mark it off, label it as 3, and I can take a line coming up from number 3, and that's going to link up with number 5. Much quicker than using a pair of dividers to get that. Right, I can definitely see, I said I'd be able to see that hexagonal base, so I can come in over here, and I can draw that in straight away as a hexagonal base. Draw in dark all of those lines, none of that would be in hidden detail, and you can then draw that very, very quickly over there. That's that. And that's that. Remember, I said don't forget to take point 0. There is point 0 over there from the XY axis. There's point 0. Take it to the XY axis. Place it over there. And I can now start drawing lines going from there to there. From there to there. And then you're going to start seeing some hidden detail happening over here. Hidden detail going from 0 to 4. Hidden detail going from 0 to 1. You're going to have hidden detail coming down from 2 to 0, and from 0 to 3. You're going to have hidden detail there as well. If you look at that, there's my little man. None of those lines over there going up to 0 are going to be dark, except for 6 and 5. You can see those lines. The little man can see those over there. He can touch them, therefore he can draw them. But the rest of these lines, there's this base in front of it. Right, that is the left view done. Done. Okay, it says a sectional right view. Where's my sectional right view going to go? It's going to go on the left. So draw in an XY axis over here, XY axis over there, label it Y3 and X3. Note the direction that Y is swinging up over there. The X is at the bottom. The Y is at the top over there. Get that right? Although you probably won't lose any marks if you got it in the opposite direction, but you should get that down. So I'm going to take these points across over here. Right. Let's take the color over here for the letters. So there's letters over there, there's letters over there, and there's letters over there. You've got the three lines with the letters on. Let's take the cutting plane across first. So I'm going to say, all right, from number 6, there's number 6, find number 6, go in over there, mark it off, and 6 and B. So that would be letter B over there and point 6. Number A and number 5, they're on the same point, so I can take that across over here, and there is A and 5. Coming over here, there is D. Number D, take it across, mark it off, label it D. There's C over there. Find C, go across, place it over there. There's C. E. There's E over there. Find E, go across, place it over there, label it E. F. There's F over there. Find F, going across, mark it, label it F. Right, once I've got that, I know that I can see my cutting plane, and I'm going to draw that in immediately, because the rest of this drawing is going to be so much easier if I can see the cutting plane first. There's D and B, D to F, E and F are going to be there, and C and E are over there, and I'm going to quickly hatch that part. There we go, hatching coming across over there. That's that done. Okay, once you've got that in place, what do you need to do? Well, if I'm standing on the right hand side, I can see that cutting plane, but I can definitely still see this base part over here. So I need to take those marks across as well. I've got to take these measurements from number 1. There's number 1, find it, bring it across over here. There is number 1. Number 4. There is number 4. Find number 4, bring it across, place it down over here. Number 4. Okay, now again, number 6 and number 2, they are going to be the same distance away from the XY axis. So find number 2, take it across over here, mark it down, label it number 2, and I can then draw a line going down over here. And if I look for number 6 over there, there is 6 coming across, and I've already got 6. Number 5 and number 3, I've already marked number 5 over there. So if I take a line coming down from point number 5 coming down, and I looked for 0.3, there would be 0.3 over there. That's done. I can now draw in these lines going from number 4 to 3, number 3 to 2, number 2 to 1. Okay? Let's have a look at this. Number 3 goes up to E. Number 2 goes up to F. And if you look at that, note, this little man is able to touch those two lines. 3 going up to E, 2 going up to F, and there they are drawn in. Number 1 going up to D over here. Okay. Number 4 going up to C over there. Is that right? Okay. And number 4 going across to number 5 over here. Definitely still going to be able to see that. And I'm going to be able to see this line going from B to number 6 to 1 over there as well. Right, that is that view done. And then the last thing that they ask you to do is to draw a view of the true shape of the thing in the direction of Z. So straight away, what am I looking at? Well, I need that, there's that Z over there. Let's just do that. So if you look at it, that Z is making a 90 degrees to this story over here. What do I need to do? I'm going to take my sheet off the board like this. I'm going to swing it around and I'm going to place my T-square on the cutting plane. Let's just check that you guys can all see that. Get the T-square on that cutting plane over there. Beautifully lined up on that. Stick it down, and now I can draw in an XY axis over here. Drawing an XY axis with my 0.3 pencil, and I'm going to label that with an X and a Y, and that would be X4, Y4. Right, once I've got that, you're going to take some lines coming off that cutting plane again. Lines coming off, take the letters first. Okay, so A and B, C and D, E and F, let's take that in. Label that part first, so let's take number 6. Find 6, go up here, there is 6. Label it, 6. And B. And number 5 and A, there is 5 and A, find there, and label it. 5 and A on that same point over there. C, let's have a look. There is C from the XY axis, there's C, go up here, label it as C. D is closest to the XY axis. There's D coming up. There is D over there. Label it. E and F from the XY axis. Find F, go up, label it. There's F. E, there is E going to the XY axis. Find E, go up, label it. E. Right, and straight away, draw in your cutting plane. There it is, drawing there to there, there to there. Drawing a line going over there, drawing a line going over there, drawing a line going from there to there, and drawing a line going from there to there. And then what we do is we do some sectioning. Okay, do some section lines going across this thing with my 0.3 pencil, fast as I can. Let's just draw that with a line. There we go. Drawing that in. Okay, just get that nice and neat. Okay, right, and at that point, most of you just wrap it up and you go home. Unfortunately, remember they said in the direction of Z, so they actually want you to draw that whole part over there as well. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to take up this line from 0 over here, take that up into the drawing, measure off that distance from 0 to the XY axis. 0 to the XY axis, find 0, go up there, mark that off, and I have got a 0 point over there. So I can now say, all right, I've got lines that are going to go from F to 0, from E to 0, from D to 0, from C to 0, all right? And if I look at it, A and B, if I'm looking in this direction over here, looking up at this thing, those lines from A and B going up to 0, they are going to be in hidden detail. So I have lines going in hidden detail up to 0 over here. Just draw that in there. And draw that in there. And then you pack it up and you all go home and you think that you've got all your marks, except for the fact that you're going to lose the marks for not writing in a label over here that says true shape. Right, there we go. That is everything that you need to know about that drawing. Just going to swing this around so that you can see everything. There it is. Let's just get that all lined up, and that is the drawing completed.